For today's lesson, we're going to look at the difference between experimental versus theoretical probability. So the objectives today is to find the experimental probability of an experiment or find the theoretical probability of a given situation and know the difference between the two. So essentially the definition of experimental probability is really data collected from an experiment, right? You could flip a coin 100 times and you're recording that data. That's experimental probability. Theoretical probability is what it should be, right? So one good example is flipping a coin, let's say 100 times. Well, experimentally, let's say when I flip a coin 100 times, experimentally I get 33 out of 100 end up being heads. And so that's based off my experiment. But theoretically, if I flip a coin 100 times, theoretically, half of them should be heads, half of them should be tails. So theoretically, I should have got 50 out of 100 for heads. And that's a good example here of the difference between the two. It is possible that in an experiment, you flip a coin 100 times and all 100 of them become heads. That is possible. Is it going to happen? Not likely, right? Theoretically, it should be about 50-50. So that's the difference between the two. Make sure you have these definitions recorded in your notes somewhere, but that's what we're going to be taking a look at in today's lesson, the difference between the two. So here we have our first example. It says, given the spinner, what's the theoretical probability of, and the first one, notice that notation, that means probability of spinning in orange, probability of red or green, probability of not red, probability of pink. So theoretically is again what it should be. And so notice it looks like it's split up evenly in 4 different quadrants and you have one of each. And so for the probability of it in orange, theoretically it's a 1 out of 4 chance, right? There's one orange wedge out of 4. Probability of red or green, well, that would be either this one or this one, and together there's 2 of them. So theoretically you should get a 2 out of 4 chance, which is the same as 1/2. So a 1 out of 2 chance there. Probability of not red, right? Probability of not red. Well, not red would be either blue, green, or orange. And so that would be 3 out of the 4 there. And so it looks like we have a 75% or 3/4 chance there. And then the last one, probability of a pink. Well, I don't see a pink on this board, right? And so the probability of that happening would be a 0 out of 4 chance because there is no pink wedge unless there's something hidden there that I don't see. So again, theoretical probability is the probability of what it should be if you were to do that experiment. So now let's say we went ahead and spun that spinner, the slide before, 20 different times. And this was the result. We recorded our data. 3 of the times we got purple, 8 of the times we got orange, 5 of the times we had green, and 4 of the times we had red. So in the experiment, what did we get? Well, probability of orange here that it happened in experiment was 3 out of the 20 total, and we can't reduce that. So in our experiment, it was a 3 out of 20 chance. Probability of red or green, well, red or green would be both of these combined, and so 5 and 4 together become 9 out of 20, so we got a 9 out of 20 chance. And then the probability of not red, well, not red would be the other 3, and so 3 and 8 and 5 become 15 total, and so it looks like we have a 15 out of 20, which if we reduce that, both of them are divisible by 5, so we get a 3 out of 4 chance there. And then the probability of pink, notice when I did my experiment, no pink ended up showing up, right? There is no pink on the board, so again, that would be a 0 out of, in this case, 20 chance. That did not happen in this experiment. So if we take a look at the example we had before on the previous slide here, and let's compare what happened, right? Theoretically, we should have had a 1 out of 4 chance, about a 25% opportunity. And if you do the percentage on 3 out of 20, 3 out of 20 ends up being about 15%. So pretty close, but not exactly the theoretical probability. The number 2, notice the probability that we got was a 9 out of 20, and that compares pretty close to that 1/2 probability, right? 9 out of 20 is the same as a 45% chance of that happening, and theoretically we should add about a 50% chance of that happening. So that was pretty close to the experiment. The probability of not red, notice these two are exactly the same. In fact, in our experiment we got 3/4 chance. In our theoretical probability should have been 3/4. So that was the same there, and then same with the pink, right? Those can't happen on here, and we didn't see that happening on our experiment. So most of them are pretty close to the theoretical probability. And something in math what's called the law of large numbers, if you take a upper level stats course, you might hear more of this, but what the large numbers really means is the more data, the more trials you do. Let's say we did 100 times we spun it, or maybe 1,000 times we spun it, or maybe even 1,000,000. If we spun it 1,000,000 times, the law of large numbers says the more trials you do of an experiment, the closer it's going to become to that theoretical probability. That's what the law of large numbers states. So let's take a look at this example. It says 200 randomly selected students at a Shakopee High School were asked to name their favorite class. Find the experimental probability for each of the situations. So here we have in our experiment, and the data is shown right here on the left in that table. So the first one says, what's the probability of people picking a math? Well, there's 40 out of a total 200 students, and so if I reduce that, that becomes 4 out of 20, which is the same as a 1/5 chance. So 1 out of 5 students did choose math as their favorite course. The probability of English, if you look at the probability of English here, that's 30 out of the total of 200. And so if I reduce that, that's 3 out of 20. And so here we just get a 3 out of 20 chance of that happening. In the next one it says, what's the experimental probability that a student said their favorite class was history or science? Well, history or science, if I circle those two, history is 32, or science was 36. So that would be 36 plus 32, which becomes 68 total out of 200. And I think for here, both of them are divisible by 4. So if I divide a 4 out by 68, I get 17. If I divide a 4 out from 200, I get 50. So here you have a 17 out of 50 chance of that happening. And then what's the experimental probability that a student did not say gym was their favorite class? Well, did not say gym would be everybody else, right? So really you could even think, well, if there's 27 of them here, then 200 minus 27 would be the rest, right? So that means 200 minus 27, that means 173 out of 200 ended up choosing something other than gym. So now it's your chance to try one on your own. Here I did an experiment. I rolled one dice 100 times, and this was the outcome that I got. So it looks like I got 16 ones. 20 of the times I rolled a 2, 22 of the times I rolled a 3, etc. So take a moment and see if you can answer these 4 questions below based off of either the theoretical or experimental probability. Then I want you to actually compare how close were we. So take a couple minutes, try this, and we'll go over this here in a few. Good luck. So in the first one, theoretically, well, if I roll a dice, right, here's my outcomes. I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. So theoretically, if I roll it 100 times, theoretically 3 out of 6, right? 3 out of 6, or 1 out of 2 chance, I should get about a 50% chance of rolling an even number, okay? But looking at our experiment, it looks like I rolled a 2 20 times, a 4 10 times, and a 6 14 times. So if I add those up, it looks like I get a total of 44 out of the 100, which was about a 44% chance. Theoretically, we should have had a 50% chance So pretty comparable, but again, by the law of large numbers, if I did this 1,000 times, you're going to see that be closer to the 50%. So if we take a look at letter C, it says theoretically, what should we get rolling a number greater than 4? Well, greater than 4 would be either two outcomes, right? It's got to be a 5 or a 6. So theoretically, 2 out of 6 or a 1/3 chance should be either a 5 or a 6 there, rolling a number greater than 4. Looking at our experiment, if I circle the numbers that are greater than 4, that's the 5 and the 6 there, so 18 and 14 times. Roll the 5 or a 6. Together that would be 32 out of the 100 times, so here we get a 32% chance of that happening, and a 1/3 probability, that's 33% chance of it happening. So the last two were pretty darn close to one another. In fact, again, by the law of large numbers, the more trials I do, the closer it becomes to that theoretical probability. So that concludes today's short lesson. Make sure you check out the practice that's out there, and don't forget to submit the homework quiz before midnight. With that said, you guys are free to go, and have a great rest of your day.